If you're looking for some spread ideas for your bullet journal, then this video is for you. I want to walk you through my 2024 bullet journal that I'm going to be using mainly for my goals and my manifestation. So if you're ready, let's just jump right in. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Seppi, and I share with you simple and practical tips to live a happier life. And my journals and my planners are my pride and joy and something that I use every single day for achieving my goals and just creating a happier life. And I love sharing that with you and showing you more practical and ways and tips on how you can stay consistent and use a journal in your life as well. So let's just jump right in. This is the first year that I actually used a real bullet journal. I have been bullet journaling for about 8 years, but I've always just used an A5 medium dot grid journal from Leuchtturm, which I have loved and I have no problems with it. But this year I decided to switch things up and actually get a real bullet journal. And I'm really proud and excited to say that I am a brand ambassador for Leuchtturm. So if you want 20% off any of their products, you can use code HAPPY20 and I will leave the information in the description box. But yeah, it's been really fun using the actual bullet journal, getting it embossed with the name of my business. So let's get into it. So I created a video to show you how to create a journal and planner system. And then from there, I also showed you how I thought through my journal and planner system for 2024. So if you want to watch those videos, I will leave the information for you here. Especially the create your own planner and journal system. It's become really popular because I think it really guides you through the thought process and questions on how to figure out what works for you and what to include in your planner and journal system. So this is how I'm switching things up a little bit this year. So my bullet journal is exclusively for my goals and my manifestation, and I will show you how. So I was inspired by my friend Emily from Notably Emily to create a cover page kind of inspired from the color of the journal itself. So I created this cute little simple spread as well. And then I set my intentions for the year. I have my own inspired goal setting method to set my goals in a more inspiring and meaningful way. It's not your SMART goals. It's not the typical ways of what do I want and then figuring it out. It's a way to set goals from a more meaningful and an intentional place. And I'm going to create a more detailed goal setting series for June, July. So if you want to watch those videos, make sure to subscribe to my channel. That way you can be notified when those go out. But I started the year by setting my intentions, how I want to feel, who I want to be, the person I want to become, the energy I want to step into this year, what I want to embody. So that's always where the inspired goal setting process starts. It's the emotions and the feelings and the embodiment and the energy that you want to experience before setting the more tangible goals of what you have to do to bring that vision to life. Then I created just this doodle spread. I really love how this turned out. And then I created my vision board for the year. I have a little Canon IV2 mini printer, which is on sticker paper. And I created my vision board based on how I want to feel and how these images, what emotions and feelings they evoke in me. And I just love how this turned out. It's something that I will refer back to reconnect to my vision. And then I created these words for the year, the guiding words for how I want to feel this year, which again, it all ties into the vision that I wrote and the intentions for the year. It ties into the vision board itself, the images as well. And it ties into these 4 guiding words and principles that I want to keep in mind throughout the year. And I wrote down a little vision for each of them to really describe in more depth what that means. What does amazing energy feel like for me? What does it mean to slow down and how does that look? What does it mean to be aligned? For me, aligned is, for example, taking an aligned action and making sure it's aligned with my higher self and my better self and my future self. And I'm making decisions with joy, doing things more out of place of joy and trying to experience joy even in the small day-to-day tasks like doing chores or cleaning the bathroom. How can I experience joy even in those small moments? And then I get into the more nitty-gritty of the different areas of my life. I have not finished setting my goals for the whole year. I have been working through it for the past month or so. And this is also a reality check. If you haven't set your goals yet, it's okay. You can set new goals at any time of the year. You can set new goals. There's no exact method that you have to follow as long as it feels aligned and it feels good for you. So for each area of my life, I have, for example, my life, my health, and my business, the tasks I want to get done, some of the habits that support that vision here, and then the goals that I actually want to accomplish. For my business, I actually have a separate bullet journal for my business in which I actually set my goals in here. So this is a bit redundant, but I'll still transcribe some of those elements elements in here as well, just so I can fill up the page. And then I'm getting into the manifestation portion of my journal. I really want to be a bit more disciplined with some of the manifestation rituals, and I really want to get into more of the embodiment, the manifestation tools and techniques that I have learned throughout the years. And I thought creating some spreads around that as a reminder would be really helpful. So some of the tools that I can pull on, some of the prompts that help me reassess and realign with my vision and my manifestation. I have been also getting into human design to understand what my higher self is and what my shadow self is, just to bring more awareness about who I am and how I can lean more into the higher self and be aware of what my shadow self is. So this is more of the personal development / manifestation elements. These are going to be my rules of reality. So the things that I want to be true for my life. For example, my rule of reality is that I get through the day with ease and with flow by aligning with my highest and most authentic self. So these are the rules of reality that I want to write out. As I said, I'm still working through my goals. So this is not done yet, and that is okay. There's no timeline for it. It's just, this is for myself. I want to track some of the manifestations, synchronicities that I've experienced in my life, some of the things I was able to achieve and bring into my life, and some of the synchronicities that I have witnessed. This is just kind of like a fun way to see, because it's easy to forget the little things, but I think it's a fun way to see, okay, well, what are some things that have happened that kind of show me that the universe is guiding me along the way on the right path. Then I wanted to get more into the self-care habits and routines that I want to implement. I did a kind of a brain dump of all the things that I think will be helpful. Not that I have to do them all the time, but then from there I was able to kind of figure out a little bit of a schedule of, instead of having to do everything every single day, it's been helpful to have kind of daily little self-care habits that I can do. If I don't do them, it's fine, but I think it's been really helpful to have little things. So it takes me 5-10 minutes per day to do some little things to take care of my face and my body and my skincare as a intentional and mindful self-care practices. So this has been really helpful, and I love how the page turned out as well. Then this year I also want to continue on my reading goals. Last year I was able to read, I think, up to 30 books. This year I want to read 40 books, and it's just fun to track the books that I read. I also want to do more creative spreads on each book that I read in my travels notebook. I have to already get on that. I also finished a book this morning, so I have to add that to the list. And then I also want to track all the coffee shops and create artsy spreads in my travels notebook as well, of all the coffee shops that I go to every single month. This is just a fun way for me to track the things that I'm doing and to really be intentional, because I like the pages to also be filled out. I want to create more space for fun things and for enjoying life. Reading books is one of them. Going to coffee shops is another of them. And by tracking it, I find that it just is a really fun reminder and encouragement for me to keep going, because it's fun to see the page fill out throughout the year, and at the end of the year to look back and see, oh wow, I did read a lot of books. Oh wow, I did go to a lot of coffee shops, and it just feels really fun for me to do that. So I would encourage you to think about, what are some fun things that you like to do, and is there a way for you to track them, whether it's writing down the good memories, taking pictures and printing and putting them in your journal, or whatever else, as a way to encourage you for you to be a lot more mindful and intentional with how you're spending your time, and that way you are enjoying life as well. I also want to be more mindful of my mindset around money, which is why I wrote Abundance Tracker, and just to track how I'm doing financially, and I set goals for myself, how much money I want to save, etc. So I want to track, my money every 6 months as well, and have a specific goal, and track my income from my Etsy, from my YouTube, and anything else. I will fill this out after this video. And then I get into my monthly goals. So this is something I shared in my 2023 walkthrough of my bullet journal, and it's a process that I'm going to continue as well. So every single month I have my inspired goal setting process, like I mentioned. If you want free resources on how to set inspired goals, I do have a free resource library, so I will leave the information in the description box if you want to check that out. But basically every single month I read my vision, look at my vision board, reconnect to what I want to achieve and bring into my life, and then I set my monthly goals. I like to always write a little vision or intentions. And then I write the more tangible goals, the things that I want to do to bring that vision to life. For example, this month, the goal is to be just have a lot more slow, intentional time and to just get ready for the year. And so my goals will then reflect that vision. For example, read more books, create a health plan, set my goals, have a health treatment, so I get a massage or something. So then the tangible goals reflect the vision and the intentions that I have for the month. Then I want to do a vision board every single month, or kind of like a mood board. I already printed some of the pictures. I just have to actually like sit down and do it. And then also focusing on accomplishments, things that I've accomplished or done throughout the month, or changes that I've experienced. That way I can focus on who I am being instead of just the check marks of the things that I'm doing. This is just me trying to be a lot more intentional with my goals and making sure that I'm being super mindful with how I am progressing and just focusing more on the being and not just the doing. And then every month I like to write down the small good memories, and I'm also trying to make it more of a bit of a scrapbooking situation with printing out pictures as well. So I write down the small good memories throughout the month as a way to anchor those positive feelings, and at the end of the year it's a fun way to look back at the year and to look back at the small moments that are actually can be easy to forget. I left a blank page because obviously I'm not even mid-month and I've already have 2 pages filled out, so I left this page blank for the continuation of it. And then, if I'm going to be honest with you, I actually didn't like how these pages turned out. So I just didn't feel really connected to how I wrote down the vision for them. So what I did is I sat back down and I wrote back. I allowed myself to do a bit of brain dump / goals journaling and dreams journaling, to just write down things that I want to accomplish and just like my goals for the year. And this felt a lot better. And then from there, I set my 5 top goals for the year, which will be, again, they're still aligned with these words and this vision. It's just I wanted to just write it out a little bit differently. And then I'm leaving a little brass bookmark for me to refer back to this specific page whenever I need to for me to just make sure I'm anchoring all my choices and decisions in my goals and how I want to feel and the vision for each of them. Then I have this spread, which I wanted to reflect on what feminine energy is. Why? Different reasons, but this is just like an ongoing spread of me kind of reflecting what is feminine energy and how I can cultivate it in myself. So I'm using my bullet journal. As you can see, this is like the last page that I have for now, but as you can see, I'm using my bullet journal as a way for me to set clear goals and a vision for my life, but also work on my personal development through manifestation, through my self-care, through reflecting on my higher self and my shadow self, through reflecting on things that I want to be more aware of. In the past, I've also had a spread, for example, on the same thing but about success and happiness. So I'm just being very intentional with how I'm using my bullet journal to cultivate a happier and more positive mindset to be my best self. So that is my bullet journal for 2024. Let me know if you have any questions. I do have 2 videos planned, one for tips for bullet journaling beginners, as well as another video for just ideas for specific spreads you can create. I'm going to pull from my 8 years of bullet journaling to show you a variety of different spreads, whether it's weekly planning or daily spreads or whatever else, give you some ideas, more concrete ideas of bullet journal spreads that you can use. So if you're like this video, make sure to like and subscribe as I'm trying to grow my channel. It really helps me a lot to give that like, to give that subscribe button, to hit that subscribe button. All that to say, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sending you a lot of love. Bye for now.